Hi guys, it's Siobhan with ToKittyandBeyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing 2021 readings. So we're going to do month by month. I'm going to pull lots of different cards and we'll see what energies are coming through for you. This reading is for Taurus. That can be Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or whatever you resonate with the most. I also recommend that you check out your other sign videos. So if this is your Sun sign, go check out your Moon and Rising, vice versa, whatever you feel most called to. All right, so let's just jump right into it. I'm going to pull some cards and we will see you in the reading. All right, Taurus. So we've got all the cards set up here. Let's get into your reading. So for January 2021, you have the Page of Cups in reverse. So I see this as it feels like there may be something that you're lacking emotionally. You might be starting out 2021 kind of not knowing where you're at or where you want to go or what you want to do. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error for you to kind of figure out where you're going to be able to find the resources to meet your emotional needs, because it feels very much like you've kind of run out. You might be burnt out. You might be just really kind of drained emotionally. I'm being drawn to the empty toilet paper roll and he's drinking out of the toilet, this cat. So it's kind of like you're resorting to whatever you can get, but I feel like in doing so, you're actually contributing to some of that emotional drain or just feeling really burnt out. You do have the Magician as well, so there's a good opportunity to be able to turn this around and start fresh. It's January, it's the beginning of the year, it's a new beginning for you. The Magician is the number one, so again, it's really emphasizing that you have the opportunity to really work with that beginning of new, that new beginning for you. So the Magician is the manifester. You can create whatever you want. So coming out of that period of burnout, you're going to be able to do something differently. But you do have the Nothing Will Come of this Situation card as well, which is the Void of Course Moon. So this kind of to me signifies that you might not know where to put your energy, or maybe you're putting your energy into something that's draining you. And because of that, nothing will come of it. So if you're putting your energy and your focus and your intention into something that is not in alignment with you or is not meant for you, nothing will come of it because it's not meant for you. And it wouldn't benefit you at soul level to really step into whatever that is in full force. So it's kind of like you're being redirected or you're being protected by the universe. Rejection is protection. So if you're finding yourself kind of coming up against brick walls, or you're really just feeling like you don't have the resources physically, emotionally, or energetically to be able to do what you want to do, there's maybe a reason for that. So maybe something to kind of just pay attention to. Heart healing. Okay, so there's an opportunity in January to focus on maybe where this energy drain is really becoming an issue. So the heart chakra is something to pay attention to, heart healing in particular when it comes to how you give and receive love. That Page of Cups is all about giving and receiving love. So there may be something from childhood, because the page is sort of that younger energy, that is contributing to you not being able to manifest. So I say this to my clients all the time, and I talk about this on Instagram, that shadow work can help you to manifest abundance. When you clear away the blocks in your energy that were preventing you from really aligning with your authentic self, you really open up a vast amount of energetic resources for yourself to be able to create and really manifest powerfully what you want. So this heart healing in January is actually a blessing for you that's going to allow you to direct that Magician energy in a really constructive and productive way. And you have Yang as well, which is the masculine energy, another one card, another new beginning, right? So January is going to be a full-on, fresh, clean slate for you guys, and it's using your energy to direct, essentially. Like, you need to be aware of what you're doing with your energy, and your energy is everything that you are. So it's, what are you focusing on? What are you consuming? What are you paying attention to? What are you doing with your body? Everything from what you watch on TV, to who you interact with, to where you live, to what you do for work, to what you do with your time and your creativity. All of these are what is contributing to your energy or draining your energy. So it's important to kind of take a little inventory of what behaviors, patterns, or choices or actions are empowering you and which ones are limiting you. This yang energy is it feels very much like the Magician to me. So this is, again, you guys really stepping into that action for creation. Once you do some of that healing and you clear away any blocks that have been preventing you from manifesting in a super powerful way, that will come to fruition, in due time. Last card you have for January is the Boar. So let's look up what the Boar message is. Okay, so the Boar is the warrior spirit, leadership, and direction. Boar can open you to the warrior spirit, helping you to find your direction in life. A wild and powerful animal, he calls you into the forest to discover a secret about yourself and about the world. The ritual boar paths that exist in Wales, Cornwall, Ireland, and Scotland exist in the inner world too, and if you follow them, you will come face to face with an animal embodying the wild and untamed power that lives within all of us. Stare closely at him and you will discover he is a representative of the goddess. His skin can heal you. He can inspire you to write music and poetry. His primal power can make you a leader or a chief. See if you can use your wildness and your energy for genuine acts of heroism in a world that longs for insight and healing. So this really speaks to me of that Magician energy, that yang energy. It's leadership, it's direction, it's having that warrior spirit. And sometimes that warrior spirit requires you to do some inner battles, right? So heart healing, really using that fearlessness, that courage, that ability to just rush in and get stuff done on an internal level. That might be a little more difficult for you because you're really used to kind of doing things practically, physically, and moving your energy in a really hands-on way. As an earth sign, that just kind of comes with the territory. Depending on where it sits in your chart, it might have a bigger or lesser influence. So take it as it resonates. But this is you really finding your direction in life. In January, it's almost like you're finding a brand new direction, and or you will be finding a brand new direction as the year goes on. So let's see what's going on for February. So in February, you have the Knight of Wands, another card of direction of energy. So you're really discovering how to work with your passion, your energy, your spirit, your inspiration, and how you move in your life with that. You might be a little bit distractible, so you kind of might find yourself just being a little bit all over the place, and that's part of kind of discovering what your path is, right? If you don't know, you do have to just see what works for you, and a little bit of that is trial and error. So just allow that energy to kind of go where you're feeling drawn or resonating. At the same time though, kind of countering that with a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little bit of self-awareness and self-direction so that you're not completely getting off course and getting distracted and consumed by things that are not in alignment. So just make sure that everything feels really resonant and abundant for you. If it feels empowering, that usually is an indication that it is in alignment with you at soul level. So you also have the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, there's a lot of balancing going on. This is the second month and you have a 2 card. So this could be in regard to relationships as well, but I'm really just feeling it more as multitasking. That Knight of Wands energy is kind of all over the place. So this 2 of Pentacles, which is your earthy grounded energy, is coming in to kind of help you find that balance, which we were just talking about. So the balance between exploring new things and also just kind of being a little bit aware of not maybe going down that rabbit hole on YouTube or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm guilty of it too. So yeah, no shade. But yeah, just a little bit of balance required here in February. It can help you to move things along. And you also have you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. So if you've been worrying about the emotional or physical well-being of yourself or your loved ones, this is a card that's reminding you that it's okay. It's all going to be okay. You and your loved ones are protected and safe, and there's really nothing to worry about. So kind of releasing some of that emotional pain can also help you, or worry, I should say. Fear blocks the heart chakra, and when your heart chakra is blocked by fear, you can't really feel authentically what's true for you. It's really difficult to identify what the right path is for you, where your heart's leading you. When they say follow your heart, that's really hard to do when there's fear in your heart. So this could be about addressing some of that as well, as sort of like a spillover from January's heart healing card. You also have, Crossroads of Destiny. This is a big one. So you guys are coming up to a crossroads. You guys have a decision to make in February. It feels like it got started in January or maybe even in December of 2020. So this is a big energy for you of destiny. This is fated. This is part of your soul journey. This is meant to happen one way or another. It's really just about what you do with the circumstances that you find yourself in. And part of that can be directing your energy effectively, finding balance, and trusting the process that you and your loved ones are going to be safe whatever happens in this crossroads. And you are always at choice. You always have that control. Sometimes you can't control the circumstances around you, but you can always control how you react to them. And you have truth be told. So there may be some truth, deep, significant truth that comes to light in February for you, Taurus. This could be something to do with that crossroads of destiny. There might be something that you find out or that you discover within yourself through the work that you're doing that will help you to gain some clarity and some insight. I'm specifically seeing the window that is in this owl's heart. The heart is what's going to guide you. So the heart needs to be healthy. If the heart is unhealthy, like there's fear or grief, pain, doubt, trauma of any kind in the heart chakra, that can greatly reduce your ability to hear that inner guidance and to feel it, and therefore to heed it. So it's important to get that cleared out, do some healing work on your heart, and that truth will be much more accessible to you. You have the horse for February as well. So let's see what the horse says. Oh wow, I opened it right to the page. You know it's a significant message when, so pay attention to this horse message. The horse is the goddess, the land, and travel. The spirit of horse calls us to journey, to travel. This may manifest itself as a desire to travel in the physical world, or we may be drawn to voyaging in the inner realms. She brings us energy and speed and connects us to the power of both the land and the sun. The horse goddess is patroness of the complete life cycle of birth, death, the afterlife, and rebirth. By working with the spirit of each, we will grow to feel comfortable with every aspect of the life cycle, knowing that the goddess protects and guides us through each of its stages. So again, that message of protection coming through for February, whatever you kind of find yourself in circumstance-wise that month, you're going to be protected. And there's balance, earth and sun, inner and outer. You're really finding that balance. And January was that masculine energy, which we would relate to the god. And then February is the feminine energy, which is the goddess. So you have this really nice harmony between these two polarities, which can, again, really help you to direct that energy in a healthy way. It's the complete life cycle of birth to death, the afterlife and rebirth. That's sticking out to me as well, because the truth be told card has the owl in it, which is not an omen of death, but the owl spirit totem does kind of entail death and rebirth and knowledge, wisdom that is applied from those natural cycles occurring in life. Now, that does not mean that there will be actual death. It's metaphorical for the cycles of life that you go through. It's just change. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to March now. March 2021 for Taurus. So you have the 5, 6, 7 of Wands. And in this deck, it's interesting because this cat looks a little bit like he's playing with these toys, but at the same time, he's kind of just like, I don't know, I don't really want these. It feels like, yeah, it feels like there's a little bit of confusion is what I'm picking up on. And then you have the Knight of Wands again. So lots of Wands energy, lots of passion, lots of spirit, lots of energy, but I feel like it's just not necessarily being controlled or directed effectively. It's like you have a lot of creativity, but you're just not really sure what direction to kind of express that in, or you may need to actually kind of rein yourself in a little bit, like some self-control. The protection message is coming through again because I'm being drawn to his armor. So you're protected through this process, whatever this process is for you. March looks like it's going to be a very fiery month, but just as I say that, you also have this Taurus full moon energy for March, which is your dreams need a practical plan. Yeah, so it feels very much like you have all of this passion and inspiration, but you maybe don't know quite yet what to do with it. So it's important to get a practical plan in place. And if you don't know how to do that, or you really don't even know where to start just exploring different options. So it's a bit of trial and error. That's completely normal. That's why I was saying, you know, just balance out that energy of like raring to go and wanting to do everything with, okay, but I'm doing this for a reason, and kind of having some semblance of self-control therein. So this is your energy full moon in Taurus. So use your Taurian practicality to be able to start coming up with a plan of some kind. I think that's going to be really important for you in 2021 because it feels like you're kind of starting from scratch on something, and you've got a lot of inspiration and passion. But you're coming out of a situation that was maybe a little bit draining for you or left you kind of heartbroken in some way. So it's important to kind of do some healing work and then learn to just kind of go with where your heart is guiding you. You have sacred play in reverse. So I feel like maybe you've been just kind of playing around and just not really taking anything too seriously, which is part of it, right? That's part of the trial and error to find out what works for you and what doesn't. But there's a point where you do need to get kind of, you know, you buckle down and do what needs to be done, especially if you aren't where you want to be. So there does need to be a little bit of work that goes into that. And now I know as an earth sign and as Taurus, you are not one to shy away from hard work. So it's kind of, yeah, I feel like temperance. I don't know if temperance is going to come up in this reading, but it feels like temperance is needed. Temperance is balance between opposites. It's unity between things that don't normally go together. And I feel like balancing your work and play is really important. Balancing your emotional health and your physical action is really important this year. So this could also be a message for somebody that they haven't been playing enough lately. Maybe it's been all work and no play, and that makes Jack a dull boy. As we know. So important to embrace play when the time is appropriate, and to embrace, you know, creating a plan and putting in some work when the time is appropriate. So I will trust you guys to be able to discern when those times are for you. Oh, great. So you're going to get a leg up in March. So March is going to be an opportunity for you to kind of get ahead in something that you've been working towards or trying to figure something out in. So just kind of accept the help. It might be coming from somebody outside of you. It might be something that an opportunity that you come across on your own, and you have to kind of grasp through your own actions. Either way, it's going to give you a leg up. It's a boost. It's helping you out. So just be mindful of that in March and, you know, act on it. Grab that opportunity as it comes in. And you have the Otter. The Otters are very playful too. So somebody out there might be needing to play more because there's a need for fun here. So Otter is joy, play, and helpfulness. Otter invites us to play, to go with the flow of life and experience, to become a child again. Allow yourself the freedom and pleasure of relaxing and letting go of all your daily concerns. Otter could be prompting you to take a day or a weekend out of your usual routine to do something purely for fun. Your practical self may tell you that you cannot afford the time, but deep down you know that you need to take care of yourself to be of real value to others. Someone may even be coming into your life who will show you how to play again, something you may have forgotten as you accepted the responsibilities of growing up. Otter shows us that being playful can even lead us to catch the salmon, the fish prized by the Druids as the totem of wisdom. Drawing this card also confirms in us the sense that we are truly protected. Wow, that protection message is coming through loud and clear for you guys. These past 3 months, specifically in February and March, you are super, super protected. So just know that there's nothing to fear. Everything's in alignment, or divine alignment, I should say, and divine timing. So just kind of relax and allow yourself to go more with the flow. Specifically with this sacred play, the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands as well. He's playing with those toys too. So it's playing for you guys. Some of you might not need to balance play and work, and that's fine, but this message that's coming through is loud and clear for some of you that need to reconnect with your play, your spontaneity. That practical plan may actually have been something that was hindering you. So again, it's balance. Take what resonates, what works for you, but you're definitely protected, and you're definitely going to be getting some assistance in March. Okay, so let's move on to April. So April 2021, you have the 10 of Cups. So this is actually a really good card of abundance emotionally. So where you had a lack of fulfillment emotionally in the past, this is being replaced by real completion and fruition of a cycle of emotional healing. So I feel like you guys are going to be having more than enough, and you're going to just have this sense of peace and contentment in that. You also have the Five of Wands. So this could be in relation to an emotional connection. The 10 of Cups can be family as well, in emotional family. So this can be friends, family, people who you're connected to, or groups of people who you really resonate with. There may be some conflict there. There may be some fiery kind of opposition or differences of opinions. This could just be competition, practice, or play. So just, take it how it resonates, I guess. But I feel like, yeah, it's a little bit of fiery change. So that one's a bit iffy. Okay, well, the next card is a fiery climax in the full moon in Aries. So this is very fiery energy. There's a lot of passion, and maybe there's other people around you who don't see eye to eye with you, or who you feel like you need to compete against, or whom, maybe you think that you're just playing, but they take it really seriously and it comes to a head. I don't know, but this fiery climax is going to be something that you will feel coming. And it's going to lead you to a revelation of some kind in April. So the revelation card is Angel Amityville in blue obsidian. I really feel like this is to do with communication, because it's that throat chakra energy. So there may be a need to communicate with somebody whom you live with, or who you work with, or somebody who you see all the time, somebody who you're really emotionally connected to. There may be a need to kind of bring something out into the open to resolve it. You have observer as well. Okay, so observer is being able to see things that are far away in a more clarity. So just being the observer can really help you to get perspective too on where you are, where you're going, what you want to achieve. So maybe you may need to step back from any situations that are a little bit heated, or there's conflict of any kind, and just observe and kind of see how it's playing out and what that's invoking within you. So just kind of a month to try not to get involved if you can avoid it. The Ram is here as well, and that really speaks to me of like butting heads too. So let's see what the Ram says. The Ram is sacrifice, breakthrough, and achievement. So Ram brings the ability to achieve a breakthrough. Attached to its place of birth, the Ram represents connection, rootedness, stability, and yet also the power to penetrate, overcome, and achieve. Working with the Ram as your ally will help you find the inner strength you need to succeed. At the same time, you need not fear losing your head on the dizzy heights of success, because the Ram will help to keep you grounded and will remind you of the practical necessities of life. By persevering, being patient, and attending to your daily life as well as your future goals, you will find the day comes when you achieve a breakthrough, reaching your goals and discovering that you have come home. So you may be looking for that home in April. You may have a breakthrough or a revelation of some kind in regard to, this could be past conflict as well. This could be kind of things that happened before that kept you out of this Ten of Cups energy. So yeah, that Ten of Cups is that home. That's that full breakthrough of emotional revelation that you're really looking for. So just observe some of the patterns in your life, because I feel like that's going to help to guide you to this really grounded and stable balance that you're looking for. My eye is being drawn to the calf and the mother there in the background. So this is definitely to do with family. It could be a parent or a sibling. Could also be somebody who's in your life, who's a friend or something like that, but they have sort of like a motherly energy or a fatherly energy. Okay, so let's go on to May. May, you have the, what is this? Nine of Wands in the Cat Tarot. So this one, I feel like you are finally going to be moving on from some of these familial obstructions that we kind of saw there in the month before. So this is you kind of, you're looking at the past, you're observing it and gaining perspective, and with that you're able to move forward with less restriction than you had before, because the Nine of Wands in the upright is kind of like that past influence that hinders you. It's the wounded warrior who doesn't want to go on and fight another battle because of the past experiences and the fear therein. So it's you kind of releasing that and being able to move forward again confidently. We also have the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, this is definitely family related because this is generational. The Ten of Pentacles is all about those family connections. So this is generational for you. This is familial, whether or not you're still in contact with your family. It's in the DNA or it's in the consciousness, it's in the subconscious, and it needs to be brought to awareness, to be observed, so that those patterns or choices or subconscious programming no longer affect you. I'm also seeing the dogs in the picture here. So dogs could be important to you, but to me they really represent loyalty. And that loyalty is something that when it comes to family, some people really think that they need to be loyal to their family because they're their family. But if your family is causing conflict of some kind, then loyalty that's detrimental to you is not in alignment. Right? That's not something that you need to maintain. So just something to think about. You have believe in the impossible, which is the blue moon. So once in a blue moon opportunity here. So this is great for you guys to have a dream and then believe that you can achieve it despite any of the past programming that maybe you have from family saying, no, you can't. Because the Ten of Pentacles is also a super, super abundant card of legacy. It's having that generational wealth. It's like having a huge amount of money that you can pass down to your children and their children because of something that you built. So believe that this is possible. You might not be there in this month, but it's believing that you can get there. Having that patience, using your planning, your organization, your skills that you have, all of the passion and the creativity and the energy that you have, working through this year, working through some heart healing stuff in relation to family, and being able to really, really believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. Because yeah, you are a divine alchemist. Divine alchemy is Ascended Master Mary Magdalene and Aqua Aura Quartz. And here we have another blue. So throat chakra, it could be to do with communication again. But you're creating alchemy either way. So you're alchemizing those past experiences that were really limiting for you and creating gold from that lead. You are transforming the negative into positive. So that's amazing. Regeneration, beautiful. You are regenerating yourself. You are renewing. You are growing from something that was not hospitable. You are healing the pain from the past and being able to really flourish despite it. You are resilient and you can grow anywhere, because I'm seeing this, it looks like lava, and like it just looks really like nothing could grow there, but then there's this beautiful magical tree. So believe in the impossible. It seems impossible, but it's not. You can do it. You can alchemize the situation. You can regenerate. You can heal. There are no limits other than the limits you set for yourself. So believe in the impossible. Ooh, you have the adder too. This is beautiful. Let's find what the adder is. So adder is transformation, healing, and life energy. Adder offers healing and transformation. Its ability to glide into the darkness through crevices in the rocks connects it to the under or other world and the realm of death. It is the totem animal of the earth goddess and also the sky father sun god, and represents our ability to die and be reborn. The energy that enables us to be born on earth is sexual energy, but this also necessitates our death. Befriending adder or snake power will enable you to journey through life gracefully and magically, shedding your old life easily when the time comes, whether that old life be of the physical body or of a stage in this present incarnation. Yeah, you guys are seriously regenerating, because that's what that snake energy is all about. Regeneration. They literally shed their skin and regenerate it and grow new skin. So this is what you guys are doing. You are creating alchemy within your DNA. And I keep seeing the DNA because it's like this sexual energy that creates, right? You're creating with this fire, with spirit, and creating something physical that holds these codes. So you guys might be actually activating your Kundalini energy as well through some kind of energy work or tantra or something like that. So that's interesting. But I see you guys really going through this death and rebirth process this year, specifically in these last 3 months. So June, next up is June. Let's see what we have for you guys. Well, you have the Nine of Cups. That's great. So the Nine of Cups is this wish fulfillment and emotional content, really being able to create that emotional fulfillment for yourself in a sustainable way, so that you know that you have more than enough and you have such an abundance of love and emotional peace in your heart that you can then share it with others, right? You're not coming from a place of lack or obligation where you have to help or serve others. It's really about, I just have more than enough and now I'm willing to share. So this is really regenerating yourself and focusing on your independence and how you create happiness within yourself, for yourself, and therefore how it gets manifested back to you in the world around you. You have the Strength card in reverse. So this could be about you really tapping into that inner strength. I don't see this as the opposite of strength. When sometimes, I read reverse cards different every time. It really depends on the reading and what I'm energetically picking up on. But in this case, I really feel like it's this sense of you finding that inner strength and applying it in a really physical, practical way. So you guys are really learning to control your emotional state, not by controlling it, but with grace and compassion and acceptance. So repression is not control. Pushing things away or resisting them is not control. True control and true strength comes from acceptance, accountability, grace, unconditional love, non-judgment, really holding space for yourself. That's what's going to create this inner strength and this emotional fulfillment that's going to help you manifest your wishes in your life, because you have a win-win outcome. You have a win-win outcome is forecast. Now that's interesting. The word outcast was kind of like a Freudian slip there. So where do you feel outcast emotionally by other people or by yourself? Where are you ostracizing yourself? Where are you abandoning yourself emotionally? And how can you observe that process and give yourself the love and the nurturing that you needed potentially in childhood, but maybe didn't receive in the way that you needed? Everybody just does their best, but if you had parents or family that weren't there for you or are supportive in the way that you needed, then it's your responsibility now to provide yourself with the things that you didn't get back then. So this is a win-win for you. It's a new moon in Libra, which is very centered on relationships and finding balance. So again, you've got this relationship theme, and it's not only the relationship with other people in your family, it's very much the relationship with yourself. That's what I feel for this month. It's really going to be about focusing on the relationship you have with yourself. Ooh, you have melt into divine desire, which is goddess Pele and lava stone. So this is like huge transformation, fiery energy. Again, you guys are really like going through this molten stage of transformation, death and rebirth, really connecting with the energy, the source energy of life. And we have this sort of theme of sexuality again coming through. Melt into divine desire. Now, this doesn't have to be sexual, but it can be just passion for you guys, and allowing yourself to surrender to that passion and allow it to flow through you, because that energy is spirit, that inspiration. And it's not a lower vibrational feeling of lust or anything like that. It's really super high vibrational when it's just expression of your divinity, when it feels empowering to you, when it feels empowering to other people too. That's really, this mark of the infinite energy. And I'm being drawn to the number 888 in the corner there. So this is really, again, it's abundance, it's power, it's direction of your energy, it's surrender to the process and the cycles of life, and it's also abundance. You have Treasure Island, but it's come up in reverse. So there may be something that you are expecting to find that maybe you don't find in the same way that you expected it. That's what's coming through, which is unexpected from this card, because that's not kind of how I usually read it. But I feel like, yeah, this is you kind of discovering this inner treasure within yourself rather than finding it outside of you, which I think is what you were expecting. And you have the Seal card as well. So let's see the Seal. All right, so Seal is love, longing, and dilemma. Seal calls to you from the Seal people of the sea. The Dan Naron, the song of the seals, frightens many who hear it. Its mournful and human sound stirs the heart of the listener to the core. It is a call to us from the depths, from the unconscious, from the waters of our birth, from our beginnings on earth, from our brothers and sisters in the animal realm who are closer to us than we dare to imagine. We fear this call, anxious that we may be drowned or overwhelmed by our feelings. Do not let your intellect imprison your heart, as the human imprisons his silky spouse, the magical seal. Opening yourself to the promptings of the unconscious, of the feminine, of your dreams and longings will bring transformation, healing, and love into your life. Yeah, so it really feels like this transformation is bringing a new sense of self-love to you. That's what's going to be alchemized. It's like you're turning your pain into self-love, and through that you attract really positive results around you. But first it's going to be you feeling that state of love within yourself and not needing anything else outside of you to validate that. Okay. So for July, we have Judgment. So there may be a wake-up call that comes in July, or something that you kind of have to, atonement. The word atonement is coming through. I don't even really fully, like, what does atonement mean? It's like paying for something, but I don't feel like that's what, I don't think they mean it in that way. It's not like you've done anything wrong and you have to pay a karmic debt or anything like that, or you're getting judged or you're being sentenced or anything. I feel like it's more like, it's kind of like you're realizing something and you're bringing up all of these old spirits from the past to really see them for what they are rather than pushing them away. And in that, you're healing your heart, because I'm seeing the feather and the Egyptian sort of inscriptions in the back really reminisce, or they remind me of the Halls of Amenti. So the Halls of Amenti are like the Egyptian afterlife, where it's kind of like purgatory, where you go and you have your heart weighed against that of a feather. And if your heart is found lighter than a feather, then you're allowed to transition into the afterlife and, you know, the abundance of like heaven or whatever. But if it's not, then you have to go back around again and try to figure it out. So it's not that it's a judgment on you. It's more just like how light is your heart? Again, there's this heart healing theme that keeps coming through for you guys throughout this year. So it's going to be a really emotionally in-depth year is what it feels like, at least for this half of it. So really focus on that heart, that feminine, that sensitivity, that feeling, and being able to work with that. Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this could be repressed sexuality as well. That sexuality theme keeps coming up. You know, the Ace of Wands in the upright, it's a very phallic symbol. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Just look at it. What do you see? Right? I'm not trying to be crude. It's just, it's right there. And it's part of that energy, because fire is that really, that passion, that drive, that self-expression in that physical way, intimacy. It's also very emotional and governs the sacral chakra. So whenever I see wands, I kind of connect them to the sacral chakra as well as the solar plexus. But I see this as you guys kind of reconnecting with any repressed emotions or repressed passion that you've had, insights or creativity that you've kind of been keeping under wraps or not expressing in a really, you know, self-empowered way. Okay, you have worked through your fears. So the Ace of Wands in reverse could also be about fears that you have of accepting new projects or, you know, really creating in an active physical way with what you're inspired by. So again, it's like believing that you can create something that you feel passionate about for yourself. If this is like a project or some kind of a work thing, work through your fears though. So new moon in Scorpio, this is, again, it's a really deep dive into the psyche, into the shadow realm. It's shadow work, which is what heart healing is. It's trauma informed self-healing, and you don't have to do that completely alone. You can get support with that, but it's really important to do it either way, because there's fears in that heart chakra or potentially in the sacral or solar plexus that are preventing you from really being in your power and living the life of your dreams and really believing that you can have that and do that. Higher will, I like that. So higher will, your higher self, the universe is going to step in. It's like that destiny fated crossroads energy that was there in February. You're really going to step up because you're being guided by higher will. And this may actually be about surrendering to your higher will. So sometimes, you know, we get a sort of, we don't feel super good about the word surrender. Like, I don't want to give up my power. You're not. You're actually gaining more power by surrendering to your higher will, because it's you. It's you at a higher level. The ego is the one that wants the control, but the ego is the one that doesn't want to surrender, and therefore gets you into situations that aren't in alignment with you, because it's coming from a place that is not aligned with who you are and your needs at soul level. So trust your higher will. You've got the blue star sapphire here as well. So lots of blue energy, throat chakra being activated. Maybe you're getting into channeling too. So you might have some fears about that. There may be incoming information or inspiration in a way that you haven't necessarily kind of been used to. So listen, you know, heed the call. There's information coming into you. Orphaned. Okay, so facing your fears, maybe to address any areas of abandonment that you have or any unhealed wounds of abandonment. Now, being orphaned is not the only way that you can experience an abandonment wound. It can also be from being emotionally neglected as a child, or being misunderstood, or being physically neglected. You can have parents who are there, but if they don't pay attention to you, that can give you that, or it can result in that same abandonment wound. So look to the areas of yourself that have been rejected, repressed, or abandoned, because that's this orphan energy that needs love. And there may be a big amount of resistance there from the fear, but it's listen to that higher will. It's guiding you in the right direction for a reason. And you have the fox. Foxes to me really speak of adaptability and really heightened senses. So again, I really get this sense that you guys are going to be really super tuned in and tapped into that higher consciousness, that higher will, your higher self, and your guides. So pay attention to that, because it's going to help you to do some of this healing work and to kind of get back on in your empowerment again. Okay, where is Fox? Okay, so Fox is diplomacy, cunning, and wildness. Fox is a graceful creature who typifies the beauty and harmony of the natural world. Working with the power of the fox, you will know when to come out in the open and be counted and when to remain silent. With others, you will be able to be diplomatic. One of the attributes of the fox is being strong in counsel. However, take care when working with fox power not to let skill and diplomacy become dishonesty or slyness. Remaining silent or becoming invisible so as to watch the unfolding drama is an asset that can bring its own special culpability if it is not tempered with wisdom. Interesting message. We've had a few of those themes coming up already in some of the other months. So yeah, some repeating stuff for you in 2021 that's really important to pay attention to. Okay, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, we're in August now. You have the 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of Pentacles. This deck uses a different system and I just got it not too long ago, so I'm still kind of discovering how to work with these cards. The 8 of Pentacles, this is kind of like you've got a lot of the same thing. Now, usually the 8 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite is that you're just continuing to do the same thing to hone your skill and to get really good at what you're doing. In this card, I feel more like you've created a whole bunch of the same thing and now you don't really want it anymore. It's kind of like, well, I'm sick of it, I'm bored of it, I want something else. And you have the Hanged Man in reverse, so this might be a time to take action in a new direction, something that is more aligned with you, because you've been in this state of kind of like a standstill where you've been kind of trying to discover how to work with your energy, how to heal your heart, how to connect to that higher will and that higher guidance, and how to move forward and be practical with that energy. And now it's like you've been hanging for long enough and you've gained the wisdom and the insight. That's why he's got the halo around his head, so that you can actually start to move forward again, because what it is that you've been creating thus far may not be in alignment with you anymore. And that's okay. You know, you're allowed to transition, you're allowed to change, you're allowed to alter your path, especially if the one that you're on no longer resonates with you or doesn't feel in alignment, which can happen. It's part of the evolution process. You have a time to give rather than take, which is the new moon in Virgo. So another earthy energy for you. This might be a time for you to give back, to move forward. You guys are really, you know, advancing in a big way. So you might be just kind of figuring out how you can give back, how you can really stand in your power, because when you're in your power, you have more than enough, and then you can give instead of take. Now, I feel like this power card is super, super mega powerful. It's also protection, because I'm being drawn to the 444 in the corner. So you guys are, again, you're being protected by this power that you have within you and all around you. And oh my God, the next card is higher power. Holy crap. So yeah, these months are going to be super important for you when it comes to your personal power being aligned with your higher power. So it's trusting in your higher power. It's surrendering to your higher power. It's not outside of you, it's within you. It's not like you're giving your power up to an external God. It is you. You are the universe. You are God. You are the creator. Give your individual will up to that higher will, because it's you and it has your best interests in mind. And when you do that, that's when you can really step into your authentic individual purpose. So it's not like you lose who you are with it at the ego level. You're still you, you still have your personality, but you gain so much access to higher power to create and shape your reality with God's hands. You are able to mold with that energy of creator, with that energy of source, whatever word and terminology you resonate with. It's that higher power that really does help you to not only create what you want, but create what's going to be beneficial for everyone. The crane in reverse. So this is the first reversed animal card that you guys have. So let's see what the crane has to say. So the crane in reverse, well, the crane in the upright is secret knowledge, patience, and longevity, but the reverse meaning is, well, let's see. The crane stands alone for hours, but it will also join others to fly or dance. The crane reversed may signify a need to find a balance between being alone and being with others. Spending too much time alone can create feelings of isolation. Having no time to oneself can be an avoidance of self-knowledge and loneliness. The shadow side of the crane manifests as harshness, meanness, and a nagging, complaining disposition. If this describes you, try to relate to the deeper aspects of the crane, in which it becomes an animal of the goddess as crone or wise woman. Ask yourself if you are denying the wise woman within you, who has a knowledge of death and the underworld, and whether your negative behavior may be a reflection of this denial. So it's interesting, again, there's themes of death, rebirth, the underworld, the shadow work that we've been talking about through this year, and really connecting with that wisdom power energy keeps coming through loud and clear. I'm also feeling drawn to the crane and the hanged man kind of being in conjunction, because these two, they both stand for hours or hang for hours, right? They can get kind of lonely. And it's also, they've got that one leg that's crossed. Look at that. Look at that. That's powerful. That's significant. And you know what that represents? It represents the swastika, not the Nazi version, the original version, which was from, I believe, Tibet. And it represents the wheel of life. So it's the natural cycles of life. It's death, rebirth, transition, transformation. It's a holy symbol. It's connected to a higher power. And it became bastardized, unfortunately, by Hitler. But we're not going to go there, okay? And I'm sorry if that's like triggering or, not something that you guys want to think about. But the point is that it's a sacred symbol of transformation. So, okay, let's move on to September. So for September, we have death. Yeah, this death theme for you guys is huge throughout the year of 2021. So Taurus, you guys are going through like a year-long death cycle. And I know that this year might feel like a lot, especially coming out of 2020, which I have a feeling was probably not easy for you either. But it's all divinely guided, right? And this is the higher power coming into your life and shaking things up for a reason. There's death that needs to happen for a reason. And there's that rebirth that's coming because the sun is rising in the background there. There might be a lot of fear around this transformation, regeneration process, about diving into those dark places you've been avoiding because you feared them. But it's really important this year specifically to do this work because it's going to lead to your empowerment. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. You're not going to enjoy it, but you will benefit from it. And you will be thankful that you went through it when everything is said and done. And I can tell you that from my own experience. And yeah, look at that. You've got so much fear here. There's a lot of fear, stress, anxiety, worry at the death process and what that's going to mean for you. Even watching this, you might be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to protect. I have to make sure everything's okay. Just relax. Just surrender to the knowing that this may happen for you, and it's going to happen in a way that is divinely guided. So there's nothing to fear. Nothing will be taken from you that you weren't meant to have. Yeah. Or that you were meant to have, I should say. Okay, you've got a new moon in Libra, which is a new romantic cycle beginning. So letting go of some of this fear, again, it's like very much in that heart center and relationship based for you guys this year. You're really working on healing the heart and the relationship center, unconditional love, because healing that fear and that loss and that grief from the past is going to help you to open up a new cycle where you can actually experience the deepest and most profound love and relationships that you've ever had. That's huge. Wow. And you have searing presence too. So yeah, this is like the searing presence is kind of like that energy of you're so glad that it's there because it's creating such transformation for you. But at the same time, it's almost uncomfortable. It's almost too much to bear because it's so intense. So it's that searing presence of love that can feel and bring up a lot of some of that shadow stuff. So it's like when I do a Reiki session with a client, we're using high frequency of energy, and by doing so, it kind of forces all of the dark stuff up to the surface, so it can feel both very healing and at the same time really scary, because you're being forced to kind of face all of that darker stuff that you've been avoiding. So yeah, this year feels like a huge kind of like dark night of the soul for you. You may have actually been through a dark night of the soul in 2020, and this is kind of a continuation of that, but in a more empowered sense. So it's kind of like you're still going through it, but you're starting to kind of understand why, which is huge. Message in a bottle too. Yeah, exactly what I was just saying. You're starting to understand why, because you're getting these messages that are coming through and you're starting to listen to them. You're starting to heed them. You're looking, you're observing. He's got this, what do you call it, telescope in his hand. So yeah, that observation is there. The awareness is there. Spirit is calling and you're willing to listen. And you have Cow. So let's see what Cow has to say for you guys. Taurus is kind of like your energy, the bull, the cow, very similar. Okay, so the Cow is about nourishment, motherhood, and the goddess energy. Cow opens us to an awareness of the goddess. Her generosity, healing, and nourishing power is present all around you, in your friends, in your children, and in your food and drink. Even in your dreams, and particularly in the natural world that you are blessed to live in. She brings protection from all harmful influences, and by attuning to her presence, you can gain the inestimable benefit of deep and peaceful sleep. By opening yourself to Cow and to her sacred quality as a manifestation of the goddess on earth, you will be connecting to the perpetual stream of nourishing energy that flows from the goddess to each one of us. To experience this, there's nothing you need to do. So that's interesting, because we had the Nine of Swords, which is kind of like this, well, it is, or it can physically show up as not getting a good night's sleep because you're worrying. That's why he's shown sitting up in bed, stressing out. So it's interesting, and I love when these messages really go together super well. The Cow's coming in and saying, I'm going to help you get some rest because you need it and you deserve it. So that Cow is coming in very powerful, strong, grounding, earthy, motherly, giving you the energy you need to feel safe and secure so that you can stop worrying and stop stressing and get a good night's sleep, knowing that you're protected. That protection theme, again, it's like every single month you're getting reminded you're protected, you're protected, you're protected. So like they're going to keep driving it home until you actually feel that you're protected, because, you know, I can tell you a million times you're protected. They can tell you a million times you're protected, but until you actually feel safe and you trust that, then it's not going to be, you know, like it's going to be an issue. If you don't feel safe, even if you are safe, it's like those two realities don't really jive that well. So it's actually feeling that safety, feeling that protection for yourself so that you can trust and have more alignment, because when you're in a state of fear, that's when you're out of alignment and it's harder to manifest. Now, you're always protected, but things can get a little bit rocky. You have the Ten of Swords as well. So you went from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords, which is a good indication here for September, October, November, December. Okay, so October, you have the Ten of Swords. You guys have progressed from the 9 to the 10. So you've been working on that mental anxiety, that stress, that worry in a healthy way, which is good. So that 10 of Swords is kind of like, okay, you're in this position now. What are you going to do about it? The only real option when you're in that 10 of Swords energy is just to surrender and let it go. Because the more you try to hold on to it, the worse it's going to get. So it's like you just have to let it go. You have to retract those claws and just let yourself drop and trust that you're going to land on your feet, which this cat always does, and that's you. You are the cat. You will always land on your feet, and you have 9 lives. You are so, so, so protected. And then you have this beautiful energy of the King of Pentacles, which is that Taurus energy too. So this is you guys showing up here in your masculine aspect, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. It's that masculine energy, which is very grounded, very practical, very logical, and super, super abundant. So you guys are really standing in your wealth mindset and creating that wealth and that luxury around you so that you can feel safe. The King of Pentacles is also super protective. That's why he's got that boot with the armor on it. he's like super chill and he's relaxing in his grotto, but he's suited up. He's ready to do what he needs to do to protect what he loves. So that, again, that energy of protection coming through loud and clear. Expect powerful change, Taurus. New moon eclipse. New moons are new beginnings, and eclipses are often activations of consciousness. So they kind of shake us out of old patterns of doing things that stem from false beliefs. So expect powerful change this month. It's going to be a big transformation, and you've already been through so many this year, but it's going to keep on going because until you really, really dig super deep and get all that stuff out, which you can't do all at once, by the way. You really can't do all of that work at once. That's why it needs to be spanned out over time. Otherwise, it would be overload. So, wow, and I just saw 11111 on the time when I was saying that. So that's a divinely guided message to just embrace the new beginnings that you're getting or that you're going through. Know that you're in control and that you're manifesting, and keep a positive outlook in regard to the natural flow of these events of your life and of your healing. Already there is value. So with that King of Pentacles energy and this card, it's like you are so valuable. You have so much prosperity energy within you, and you can use that at any time to create results for yourself. But again, you have to trust that you can. You have to believe that it's possible, because if you don't, then you can't. That's what my mom always used to say to me. My mom would say, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. You are the creator of your reality, and it's not just on a level of whether you take action or not. Spiritually, metaphysically, you shape your reality. You create what you're seeing. This is like a hologram, a matrix, and you get to choose. You get to program. It's like a choose your own adventure, and you're the one turning the pages, and you're also the one who wrote the book. So trust that there's always value in whatever place you find yourself in. And knowing you, Taurians, you can create even more value in that place. You can make any house a home. You can make any place luxurious and beautiful and a sanctuary for yourself. And it's when you do that inside and you trust that you have that ability to do it wherever you go, that's when you really find that, yeah, there's value wherever you go, because it's in you. Here and now. So yeah, be present in the moment in this month. It's important for you to be very aware of your physical self. This is a lot of earthy energy, so this is your energy. It's not about focusing on the past. It's not about focusing on the future. It's really staying in the present moment, because it's in the present moment that you can observe and direct your energy effectively. If you are thinking of the past, your energy is directed there. If you are imagining the future, your energy is directed there. You have to be in the present moment to actually manifest. And I mean mentally in the present moment, because you're physically always there, but in your mind, in your consciousness, and in your emotional state, being in the present moment helps you to create results, because you're focusing your energy here and now, which then shapes your reality. So huge messages of you being the creator, and you're super abundant and powerful. Bear is here as well. So let's see what the bear has to say. I know Aries got this as their last card for December. You guys are in October right now. So let's see. The bear might be going in for hibernation. The bear might be just bringing you some protection. Okay, the bear is primal power, sovereignty, intuition married with instinct. Ooh. So bear connects you with the very deepest of your ancestral roots. Here at this level, you are in touch with the primal mother, the bear goddess RTO, who will defend you fiercely from all danger. Oh my God, that protection mechanism or that protection message, like crazy. You are connected also with the bear guard Artuus, the mighty warrior Arthur, the guiding pole star of the Great Bear. Your intuition will never fail you if you will listen to it in the still darkness of the night. Working with the bear gives you the opportunity to become a spiritual warrior like Arthur. You can find the way to come into your power by marrying your strength with your intuition. Integrating your primal power with your intuition means uniting your star power with your animal power, and both are symbolized by the bear. So this is, again, These themes are throughout this entire year. You guys, this is huge for you in regard to your personal power, your protection, your ability to manifest. Yeah, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse here because I think you guys get it. But let's move on to November. Oh my gosh, you guys have the devil. I love how this is the cat tarot, so the devil's a dog, obviously, because the cat's like, no. Wow. So, you know, there's still limitations. There's still areas where you're finding yourself coming up against this personal disempowerment. And it can be through patterns that you see of people around you disempowering you. But again, if you spot it, you got it. If you're interacting with it, you have some level of control over it. So, you know, you're creating your reality in every moment. So yes, you are also co-creating. So we do have to factor that in, but you get to choose what you do. You get to choose what you put up with. You get to choose who you connect to. So if there's anybody in your life who's been disempowering you or contributing to these patterns of disempowering yourself, that's something that needs to go, or it needs to be addressed. You have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so that any areas where you feel like you can't speak your truth, where you can't take action or meet obstacles with a very rational, logical, receptive mind, any areas where you feel resistance or you need to repress things, that's something that's coming up this month in November. November is like Scorpio season. Well, October and November is Scorpio season. So it's that, yeah, really diving deep into more of that shadow work. This theme of this year for you guys is like all shadow work. And it's releasing any of those attachments or those beliefs or programs of limitation where you weren't able to really speak up for yourself or communicate what you believed in, for fear that it would be met with disapproval, judgment, anger, you know, any of just like being told you were wrong. That's what's coming through. Somebody being told that you're wrong. Your truths are not wrong, they are yours. And whether or not somebody else agrees with them is irrelevant. So it's not your responsibility to take accountability for other people's reactions. It's only ever your responsibility to take accountability for your own reactions. So yeah, interesting. The energy is gaining momentum in November, so that's good. So you've done a lot of work up to this point, and November has still got some work for you, but the energy is gaining momentum and they want you to know that. So by the time November comes around, you might be pretty tired. It's been a long year of doing all of this work, but it's starting to pick up and you're starting to actually see or feel the results of the work that you've been doing with yourself. Karmic grace. Yeah, exactly. So karmic grace is about you getting some grace from this karma. So this is essentially what it is. That devil card can represent karmic choices, you know, karmic patterns that were disempowering. And this karmic grace is coming in as a reminder that you are freeing yourself from that karma. So it's coming up for a reason. It's because it needs to be addressed, because it's a pattern, because it's something that keeps repeating. It's a choice that you continue to make consciously or unconsciously. And this karmic grace is giving you that clarity you need to be able to see it for what it is and then change it. Oh, and you have the yin energy. Didn't you guys have the yang energy too? Yeah, so you've got, again, this theme of balance between the masculine and feminine keeps coming in. We've seen that a few times throughout the reading in some of the different months. So this energy is the energy of 2, which is balance, and it's also about relationships, your relationship with yourself and your own femininity specifically. So yin is the feminine principle. It's the goddess energy. It's sensitivity, emotions, connectivity, holistic thinking, creativity, and being able to surrender, right? The yang energy wants to act, it wants to do. The yin energy surrenders to the flow and the natural process. So this is really a great balancing year for you guys when it comes to your feminine masculine principle within yourself and how that relates to people around you. It could be the parents, you know, the mother and the father. It could be relationships where those dynamics keep playing out. So yeah, it's a big year for you guys when it comes to doing some ancestral work and doing some healing when it comes to your lineage and your family programs. You have B as well for November. So the B, one of my favorites, obviously, I've got the bee there. I see the bee as like he's a hard worker. He stays on track. He works for the whole, for the collective. He's drawn to beauty and he creates honey with that beauty. So when you're attracted to that beauty and that love, you create more of it. But let's see what this deck actually has to say about B. So B is community, celebration, and organization. B invites us to celebrate. You may have a special reason for celebration, or you may simply need to celebrate the wonder and mystery of being alive. In the Druid tradition, there are occasions to celebrate every 6 weeks or so. As human beings, we need times when we can come together to enjoy each other's company. The bee tells us that we can live together in harmony, however impossible this may sometimes seem. By being at one with the natural world, by paying homage to the sun, by centering our lives around spirit of the goddess, we can work together in community. So community themes, that goddess energy cropping up again, especially in this month of November. So pay attention to that and see what you can do when it comes to how you interact with your community. You might be breaking down barriers and karmic cycles that were connected with how you feel connected to the community or a part of the community, or, you know, community can also be your family. Just saying, because we had that theme. Okay, so for December, Taurus, last month, you guys have the eight of wands. 8 of wands. Okay, so this is fast moving energy. Things, again, really gaining momentum. We saw that in November, December, same thing. Things are moving really, really quickly, and they're starting to take shape. And this is in regard to emotions as well. So you may be finding a lot more emotional wisdom than you had before. Your heart is really starting to open. You're freeing yourself from those cycles of the past that kept you in that wounding, that heart wounding and that deficit. So you're really focusing on what it feels like to actually have love for yourself and be able to share that with others. The Queen of Cups is the sense of leadership and emotional maturity. So she's the queen. She's, oh my God, I just blanked out for some reason. The queen of the emotional realm. So this is really about you standing in your power emotionally at that heart level. Show the world the real you. Okay, so when the Queen of Cups comes up and then this card is next to it, it's like really opening up and being your authentic self. And it doesn't mean that you need to go out there and wear your heart on your sleeve. You can still have, like, you know, you can still have those boundaries that are, you can only show, or you want to show yourself only so much to certain people, and that's fine. That's actually healthy. But I feel like this is just about that vulnerability that you're going to be able to step into and surrender to, because you gain that true strength that comes from emotional wisdom that you've gained from all of this healing work that you're doing, or that you've done over the course of this year. You also have another sort of heart chakra card here. The green chrysoprase is connected to the heart chakra, and this is discernment. So this is discerning what is right for you, what is aligned for you, what really gets you feeling empowered, what feels like it's for you, it's coming through you. You know, it's really about that heart flow for you this month in December. It's all about love and community and being your authentic self and showing up as you unapologetically, unabashedly, and not having to protect your heart in any way, because when you are really in your power, you don't need that protection because you're creating the positive results around you. There's nothing that you need to hide from. There's nothing that you need to defend against, because you are in your own creation of harmony. You have the thinker too, and it's funny because that moon card was in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the thinker too. So this thinker energy is contemplation. It's also protection, because those 4s up there, 4-4 is to do with angelic protection, stability, and security. But I really feel like this is you just kind of spending some time to go over how far you've come this year. It's kind of like you're going to be sitting down in December and looking back into last December and how far you've come in this year. And it's going to be a long way. You've come a long way this year in 2021. And last but not least, you have the Earth Dragon, which is you, Taurus. It's this Earth energy. You are the Earth Dragon. Embrace it. So let's see what the Earth Dragon message has to say. So The Earth Dragon is power, potential, and riches. Earth Dragon brings us face to face with our potential. Within us, we have a treasure house of riches, of powers, and capacities, which we can learn how to use. In the past, we may have been denied access by the guardian of this treasure, but now we're coming to understand that this sometimes fierce guardian is in reality an aspect of ourselves. By coming to know and love the Earth Dragon, we will be able to unlock the secrets of our heart, and at the same time, we will find ourselves discovering the beauty and the power that lie within the hearts of those around us, and in the very Earth itself. Yep, that final message is one of that heart. It's like there's been protection around your heart because you felt like you needed it. And this year you really do that inner work to heal those wounds that were creating that mechanism of protection. And you're able to actually access the treasure of your heart and how that can connect you to the treasure of other people's hearts around you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. So big year for you guys when it comes to your shadow work, your emotional healing. That's going to lead to healthy relationships, physical abundance, manifestation, alignment, your passion, your purpose, really finding all of those things. Doing heart healing can lead to all of that. And I see that with my clients and I've seen that with myself. And this is what you guys are doing in 2021. So this is big, big, big sacred work. And I send you lots of blessings for 2021 to do this work for yourself. All right. And if you need any support in that, you know, you can always reach out to me for a tarot reading, a Reiki session, or an Akashic Record soul realignment reading as well. All of the information is in the description box below the video. And if you'd like to support the channel, to support these readings, you can do so by booking a reading or by sending me a donation via PayPal in the link below, even if it's just like 99 cents. I'm so, so, so grateful to you guys for that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It helps me get new decks and new setups and things like that. Also, check out the merch line that I've created. I know I'm just kind of like plugging here, but that's what you got to do when you're a self-made boss lady entrepreneur. You got to promote yourself. You gotta hustle, right? And I created like a line of tarot mugs if you guys are interested. I've got the In Alignment sweater. I've got a whole bunch of cool swag. So check that out if you fancy. Thank you for the support of the channel, guys. And just for watching and for being here. I love you. I'm so appreciative of you. And I know that you guys are going to do great in 2021. I love you. I love you. Love you. Lots of blessings. We'll see you next time. Bye.